Hey guys, and welcome back to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue focused podcast with hot takes and even hotter news. I am your host, Rasheed Phillips, and we're not fully back. We're like kind of back. This isn't even a full episode. This is just a little appetizer, a little tasty, tantalizing delight to say we've missed you. We hope you've missed us back. Just a little quick rundown on a couple of little high hitting points that have happened in barbecue just over the last couple of days and last couple of weeks. And don't worry, the whole group will be back next week with a full course meal, whole episode, top to bottom. We're trying a lot of new things that we hope you guys will like, enjoy, and appreciate, but only time will tell. Till then, let's get into today's news. Now, this one's hilarious, obviously, but Traeger's hiring. Not that surprised if you listen to the previous episodes where we explained and spoke about Jeremy's Project Gravity, which was the fancy title for we're laying everyone off to save money to inflate our bottom line before the end of the year so that numbers look good come the top of the year so that these guys don't realize they're still paying me a lot and I'm the next head on the chopping block. But if you missed all of that, now you're caught up. Traeger is hiring. Not funny enough, for all the positions that they fired people for. It's one of the oldest tricks in business, right? Eliminate the person that is tenured, that's making an obscene amount of money, fire them, then hire two people in their space for a third of the cost. Classic playbook that's running and usually done within businesses that don't have a lot of runway left. When you're this close to being delisted, you kind of got to pull out every single string possible, and that's exactly what Traeger is doing here as they run nonstop ads across LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social media platforms. So if you like to gamble with your livelihood, go right ahead and apply to Traeger, and I hope you make it past the 90 days so you can at least claim unemployment when they let you go later on this summer. Next up, things have gotten a little tough for Unc, aka Walt, aka Mr. Tendernism himself. It seems as though there's a little bit of a tough love or tough whatever happening over on that side as Keith Lee, and if you're vertical and on the planet, you know who Keith Lee is, went to visit Destination Smokehouse, and in true Keith Lee fashion, of course, he never goes in personally first. He sends someone in, brings some of the food out. He did a whole review, said it's not as tender as they show. You know, he realized, they just do the cut back and that's why it fell off. But he spoke well of the flavor and said this is good. He gave a good review, a good response, good experience overall to trying their food. And again, in typical Keith Lee fashion, he went in and wanted to say thank you. He had $1,000 to cover food for people who were eating, and he had an additional $4,000 he wanted to gift as a tip to Unc Walt himself, Mr. Tendernism. However, he was turned away as he was informed that Walt's security would not let anyone near him as he was in the midst of a podcast. Now, I know a lot of guys in barbecue. I've cooked with a lot of amazing chefs as well, high profile chefs, from Robert Irvine to, of course, you guys know Pops, to Ronnie, to everyone around, to celebrities. And never, never, and ever have I encountered anyone who had security. Hell, we were cooking up steaks for Mark Wahlberg a couple months back in Chicago, and he didn't even have security. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of juice is Unc got that he needs security guards around him at all times. That's a little weird to me. None of my business. Not my monkey, not my circus. I'm just reporting on the news. Don't shoot me. I didn't cause it to happen. But I know one thing for sure. All right? One thing for sure, two things for certain. I'd be tight if I found out y'all caused me $4,000 because you say you didn't recognize Keith Lee when he walked in and introduced himself as Keith Lee. How? Make it make sense. How, Sway? How? They may be blowing smoke instead of rolling it, but, things have happened. We'll see what ends up happening. I know they're trying to reach out to Keith, but that man is kicking up his feet in the sands of Hawaii right now, and we don't know if you get a chance to double back. So that's why that first impression is so great. Next up on the list on this little barbecue bite-size snack we've got going here, Smokeslam has been put on ice. Yes, that is correct. Smokeslam is on ice as they have announced they're taking a pause, if you would, for 2026. Official statement here. Smokeslam Barbecue Festival pauses in 2026 to prepare for a reimagined 2027 return. The exact press release they released here. Memphis Presents today announced that the Smokeslam Barbecue Festival will pause in 26 to allow time for Smokeslam in Memphis in May/World Championship Barbecue Contest to plan and organize a combined event in 2025. Community feedback from sponsors, businesses, and leaders has reinforced the need for a single unified barbecue celebration. It's not like there was a barbecue podcast that was out there that said this before and completely called this happening. My thing is, who does this really help? Let's get us away from the attendees, the pitmasters, all that. You always got to follow the money on things like this, right? Next year, 27, is Memphis in May's semi-centennial. Those of you who aren't great at math and don't do barbecue math like me, that's 50. That's half of 100. That's what they're celebrating next year. So I am not surprised that Smokeslam would want to hitch themselves to a more prestigious event that is also going to be celebrating their 50th anniversary, right? There are still a lot of questions, a lot of unknowns here, and I will link the full press release. It's not long. It's a rather short read, but there's a lot of things that seems like it happened behind closed doors now. Could this all have happened due to major figureheads such as Al Fragoni leaving Smokeslam and not only setting up shop with Memphis in May, but organizing the world's first open fire world championship competition? Potentially. Who knows? I don't know. I just start fires and wear butts for a living. Take it with a grain of salt. But do your own research. Like I said, we'll have everything linked in here. But it is rather interesting that just after, 2 goes of it, Smokeslam has already had to hang it up. So in this case, it's, youth versus wisdom in this particular scenario. Smokeslam had a lot of fuel, a lot of funding, a lot of backing behind it, and it just didn't seem to be enough to withstand, I guess, the tenure and the history that Memphis in May held on its own. Really going to be watching this closely and see exactly what happens as the story unfolds and as time continues on. Maybe, just 100% speculation here, maybe Smokeslam brings something over and creates their own category, subcategory, sub-contest within the Memphis in May umbrella, which is what they should have done to begin with, or partnered up and made it a dual weekend thing. Who knows what the future holds, but I do know one thing. Having 2 major barbecue events on the exact same weekend, 5 miles away from one another, no one was winning, and I don't care who crossed the stage. All right, as we are going through our little bite-sized bundle of information here, don't forget that this week is the legendary Shed Showdown, and if you haven't already, you can go ahead and register over at theshedbbq.com as well as steakcookoffs.com. There's way too many people attending this event for me to start naming them, so I'm going to just direct you to the Shed's last post, or I may just drop it in right here. But please go, attend, have fun, say hey to Brad and the crew for me. It's an absolutely amazing time, and so much is given. They've actually added 2 additional categories, so for those of you who are chasing points, trying to get to the ultimate goal, because there is, and I don't know if anyone's really been talking about it, but there is this year a $1 million grand prize for a barbecue contest that we'll be talking about next week in the full episode, but give you guys a little taste right now. So head on over to the Shed, check it out, register, go, have a good time, and compete. It's for fun, right? And lastly, I wanted to wrap this up. Hey Grill AI, or Hey Grill A. Susie Bullock, if you are living under a rock, I definitely suggest you know who Hey Grill A and Susie Bullock are, put out a absolutely amazing piece on her LinkedIn as it pertains to the struggles she and her business and a lot of other colleagues, myself included, have faced with the new run of AI. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it through threads or Twitter. I don't know whatever that thing is called now, and Instagram. But there have been a huge boost of AI bot writers that are writing recipes, and that's air quotes for those of you who aren't actually able to see it. Writing recipes and they're mangling them. They're just scraping recipes, getting a line or two, and then putting it together, thinking it's going to be good, and it's not. There was a uptick in reports of people using recipes that they did not know originally were created by AI and ending in disaster meals. Now, how does this affect us? Well, we create and put recipes out there. These bots are constantly visiting the sites and scraping this information and then regurgitating it, not crediting the original posters, the original creators, the writers, none of that. Then you have lazy teams and lazy writers that are implementing the same tactics, then seriously going as far as getting AI generated imagery to be made of the dish instead of even taking a photo of this. So at this point in time, there's zero cooking happening, right? There's zero R&D, there's zero balancing, there's zero actual legitimate culinary work taking place as people are leaning heavily into AI. Now, with all this, is there a way out? Is there a solution? I don't know. This thing, we all knew it was coming. I just don't think everyone could have braced for the impact. Susie mentions seeing losses upwards of 90% from year-over-year revenue. That is a lot, right? That is a lot. So for those of you out there listening, watching, who always searching for recipes and have your favorites, visit the creator's site themselves. Do not interact or engage with that Google summary. And maybe that is something that we as the creators need to do now, is see what it's providing and then make sure that our content does that as well. If you're looking for a shorter summary, maybe we start interjecting and putting those summaries there. But what I'm hoping for is that those who really do love the art of cooking and have the patience to go through every step will thrive and continue to support and continue to visit these sites. But as of right now, it's looking a little bleak. AI is taking over, and time again, we have seen what happens when AI runs rampant. We saw it in Eagle Eye. There are enough Terminator movies to warn us of this. And I know we saw iRobot. Like, we got that. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see the immediate impact and just how detrimental it's been. I'm interested to see what time will tell us over the next 3, 6, and 12 months as these corporations and these businesses continue to get these huge funding dollars to build and promote these AI bots. There's an AI thing for everything. I'm literally waiting to get a box of cereal that says optimized by AI. Yeah, who knew 2 letters could cause so much discourse? But I digress. Just want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Believe it or not, this is episode 119 of This Week in Barbecue. Like always, please, if you see the option to leave 6 stars, leave it. If not, we'll take 5. Leave a little review. We want to know more of what you want to hear. We got a lot of the feedback towards the end of the year Spotify wrap that we're implementing in this year's broadcast and production. Things are going to look a little different. They're going to sound a little different. Going to be a lot of giveaways and great interacting moments for you guys. But as always, I appreciate you guys for listening. I have been your host, Rasheed Phillips, and always be kind to one another. The world needs it.